Hey folks, this is Riker, bringing you my Heroes of the Storm tier list. And this list will rank the various heroes currently in the game into 5 different tiers based on the power level of the character itself, as well as its role in the current meta. Now, as opposed to other tier lists that tend to be based more on opinion, my list is based entirely on the mathematical analysis of statistics derived from Master League matches. For easy reference, you can find a text version of this list in the description below, and do check back in the future because I plan to keep this updated anytime there's a new patch or otherwise a major change in the meta. But right now, we're gonna go through what the various tiers mean in this particular analysis, and rather than exhaustively go through every hero, we'll just touch upon certain noteworthy highlights. So beginning with Tier 1, there is a distinct division between my Tier 1 and Tier 2 picks. Kael'thas simply brings a tremendous amount of damage. Plus, the utility of his Phoenix ultimate can make for devastating combos if you can get the enemy stunned in that area, and also serves great at objectives to deny areas. As long as his team can keep him alive, Kael'thas is an absolute wrecking ball. Not only is he the most popular character in the current high-level meta, in fact, you'll be hard-pressed to ever find a game in which you don't face a Kael'thas either on your team or on the enemy team, but his win percent is notably high as well. Now, as of the last patch, Anubarak actually made his way up into Tier 1. He was a much lower tier pick, but the improvements to his Beetle AI has made him the favored warrior in the current meta, and his win rates have skyrocketed. As for Jaina and Sylvanas, Jaina also brings a great amount of damage, not quite as much as Kayle, but she has that slow, that ability to crowd control. So if you can get the Kayle and Jaina 1-2 punch, that is absolutely devastating. As for Sylvanas, she is the clear #1 pick specialist. Her ability to lock down towers makes her an absolutely mandatory pick on Haunted Mines, for instance, and just great overall. While she is a specialist, she doubles up as an assassin fairly well too, so it's no wonder that she's been a top tier pick basically ever since she was implemented into the game. Our Tier 2 picks aren't quite as favored as Tier 1, but they are still a step above the rest of the heroes. So let's highlight a few perhaps surprising heroes on this list, the first being the Lost Vikings. I know some other people will put this as a Tier 1 pick. I will absolutely concede that the Lost Vikings, when played well, see tremendous win rates. That said, for whatever reason, they are not popular in the current meta. It takes a lot of skill to be able to properly make use of the 3 Vikings, to play them separately. And it's difficult to have to be in 3 places at once when your enemies are able to only focus on 1 character at a time. So assuming equal skill levels, the player who has only 1 character to control should theoretically be able to perform better than the one who has to focus on 3 different characters. But again though, when played well, the Lost Vikings are very strong. Another surprise might be seeing Muradin, who is a top tier pick for a lot of people, and this has nothing to do with anything performing badly with Muradin. It's just that there are better warriors right now. Again, Anubarak is that #1 pick. Uther is great with his stuns, but Brightwing is able to be a better healer overall, and Rhaegar is still a good substitute if you can't get either of those two. Tier 3 picks aren't bad choices, they just fall into the average category. Either the characters themselves are of average strength, or they're just not favored by the current meta. Now Kerrigan, some people put her as a Tier 2 pick. She does perform well, but she really needs a team built around her. She has to combo well with specific team compositions. Tassadar, again, Tier 2 pick for a lot of people, but we've just been seeing a shift away from that to support meta. He's still a decent pick as long as you have another support on your team, but if you're only going to have 1 support, it's not going to be Tassadar. As for Tier 4, oh ETC, what a fall from grace. ETC used to be a top tier pick. He's down to Tier 4. Some people still rank him as Tier 3, but I'm sorry, his popularity and win rates have taken a huge dump. The last patch really changed ETC and arguably nerfed him, and the numbers are reflecting that. Further, the inclusion of a new, more powerful warrior in the form of Johanna and the buffs to Anubarak have further contributed to his plummeting. And that's basically the story about all of our Tier 4 picks here. These aren't the worst characters, but they are below average. There is always a better pick than any of these Tier 4s. Some people rank Tyrande as a Tier 3. By this classification, she is an upper Tier 4. She is half support, half assassin, but there are simply more powerful characters than her. Same deal with Asmodan. Some people rank Asmodan as a tier 3. We have him as tier 4 here because there are better specialists. Then lastly, our tier 5 picks. These are the ones that are either completely out of the meta right now and or see below average win rates. There shouldn't be a whole lot of surprises here. Stitches is in the gutter right now. He's got that hook, and that's about all he has going for him. Chen is a pick that some people rank as tier 4. He's great at staying alive, but little else. Sure, that barrel power is great, but there are so many better warriors that have great crowd control. Diablo, in the same patch that ETC was hit, Diablo was hit as well. He got skills change and he is now completely phased out of the meta. Again, he cannot bring the degree of crowd control that other warriors can. Now, one thing to note about this tier list. Maybe you're a really good Tyrande player or a really good Lily player. There's nothing wrong with that. If Tyrande is your best character, then it's better for you to play as a tier 4 character that you rock at than a tier 2 character that you're terrible with. That said, in highly competitive play, there will be an expectation that people focus mostly on the tier 1 and tier 2 picks. That wraps up this video. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check back in the future for updates. Check out these other videos. And if you enjoyed this one, share it with friends, leave a comment, hit like, and subscribe to join Riker's Raiders.